Hey doodle friends, no intro today. I have been so busy so I didn't have time to sit in front of the camera. I'm using my Archer in Olive size B5. As always, I like a bigger notebook so I have lots of room for writing and drawing. In this theme, I am doing a butterfly theme and I wanted to use a color that I haven't used in my bullet journal yet, so I went with a brown and this like orangey yellow color, and I love how it came out. Planning wise, I like to just sit on my couch and scroll through Pinterest and look at some inspiration pictures, and I like to sketch it while I'm sitting on the couch. That's why I never sketch it in front of the camera, because I'm always just doing that on my couch. For July, I actually used these new Faber-Castell brush pens that I got. It is called B, I believe, and I really like it because it's a little bit thicker than the Tombow Furunosuke, because I find that the Tombow Feuds are a little bit too small for me sometimes, so I really like the thicker line. And I did kind of mess up the L in July, but that's okay. I always have a piece of paper next to me to kind of test my colors, make sure they're gonna blend all right. And I used Crayola Super Tips, just two of them, this yellow orange color and a brown color. And I wanted to do a slow-mo version and just showing you how I blend the colors. I do the light color first, and then I do these feather strokes, so it's not just a solid line across. I'm doing these feather strokes to blend it in, and then I go back with the yellow over the middle section and blend it in like so. And then it kind of looks like I used three colors. For the black parts in the butterfly, I used a Faber-Castell black marker. I think it's called 1.5 or something. I don't know. I got this like little kit that came with 5 different markers. It had like 2 regular black markers and 2 brush pens, and I didn't really like the other brush pen. It was too flexible for me. The B is what I ended up really liking. And of course I made this butterfly more magical and have moons on it. I always like to make everything look at least a little bit witchy, and I've always connected with butterflies. I was obsessed with butterflies since I was a little girl. I had just a booklet of stickers that I would just put stickers all over my journal, and they were butterfly stickers, and I still love butterflies. So we're on to the next spread. I'm using the same Crayola Super Tips, and I'm just alternating the colors throughout the letter. I pretty much just used one color for each letter, and I tried to make it more flourished, so I made the R extra flourished, and the D I made flourished. And I'm trying to get better with word or quote layouts, so I really wanted to practice that. This actually really did take some planning, so I'm not like the best at flourishing, but I really like how this came out. And what I've learned is that you should make your smaller words smaller, so I put your in small black letters and the and symbol, since those aren't like the key words. So I kept spread, wings, and fly extra big, and I felt like the right side was a little bit empty. That's why I added those little swooshes at the bottom. And then once I finished writing with the Crayola Super Tips, I took a Faber-Castell marker and I outlined the entire quote. And this black marker that I'm using is not a brush pen, it's just a regular marker, so it's the same thickness. And I did make the thickness of each letter, the Crayola Super Tip, the same length, because I find that when you do an outline with really thin lines, if you have like really thin upstrokes, it just doesn't look right. So definitely make it a little bit thicker. I still tried to make the downstrokes a little bit thicker, but it kind of just looks like the entire word is the same thickness, and that helps with the outline. And then I went back with a very light gray Tombow brush pen, and it's really hard to see, especially with the shadow from my hand, but I'm making a drop shadow. So yeah, there's specific lines that I'm doing the drop shadow on to give it that 3D look. Again, it's really hard to see on camera because I did do a very light gray. All right, we are on to the third page, the calendar page. Oh my gosh, this gave me some trouble. I'm not gonna lie. Guess what? I'm not using washi tape for my calendar lines. This is the first time this entire year that I'm not using washi tape to make my calendar lines. I wanted to do something different. Oh, look at these adorable stickers I found on Amazon. I love tracking the full moon, the new moon, and the waning moon. As most of you guys know, if you always watch my videos, I like to manifest with the moon. So having these little stickers on the calendar really helped me remember when the new moon, full moon, and waning moon are. So at first I wanted to use the Crayola Super Tips and just do a drop shadow, but no, I wanted to make it more difficult, and I wanted to fill the entire background with the Crayola Super Tips, and I wasn't really liking how it came out. You know, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, I just wasn't having it, so it took me a while to fill this in. And then I wasn't liking how streaky it was looking. I wanted it to be more blended, and I felt like the brown really wasn't blending well. I kept flipping back to the first page to look at my colors because I was like, this color does not look the same. So then I had the brilliant idea of using paint because I'm like, I really want more solid lines. So I found some paints that I had, and then I went to add in the brown, and I guess brown and yellow make green. I don't really know my colors, obviously. So I just kept playing around with it and adding more and more, and I was kind of liking it a bit better than the marker, but I still wasn't super happy with it. So eventually I just let it dry. I did some little dabbing motions. I really liked when I started using the dabbing motions as opposed to just pushing the brush back and forth. So I started dabbing, and I felt like that really helped. And then now you see the super shininess. I did it off camera because I was just not in the mood to film, but all I did was dab gold paint over all of the colors once they were dry, and I really like how it came out. I feel like it's not as pretty on camera because the light is just shining on it so much, but I do really like how it came out. I feel like some of the lines look like they're kind of green, but they don't really look like that in person. So turns out I ended up liking the calendar. It just took a while, but I mean, I wanted to try something different, and now I know if I'm gonna fill in the entire calendar to just use paint. And I'm using my Archer and Olive, and it did not bleed through at all, and I used a lot of paint. I mean, that is amazing. It held up so well. I wanted to do this first word chakra in normal speed just to show you how slow you are supposed to be brush lettering. I have practiced a lot, so I mean, when you first start, you go even a little bit slower than that. I like to work on a different chakra, work with different essential oils and a different crystal every month. So that's just like my little section where I write what I'm going to be working with for those things. All right, we are on to the next page, and I actually sketched this way before I was even planning to do butterflies for July. So if I were to go back, I would have done butterflies in each section and then just a bunch of flowers around, but I had already sketched this, so I was just gonna go with it, and I left it completely black and white because I wasn't in the mood to color, and I feel like these flowers look really good in black and white. So I just used a micron size 8, and then for some of the like sketchy little lines in the middle, I used a size 0.2 micron. I'm not gonna lie, this did take me a while to sketch, so if you want to save time, obviously don't sketch it in pencil first, but I don't know, I just want to prevent any mistakes, so I just love doing it in pencil first. That way if I mess up, I can just erase it and try again. So I learned all of these flowers from, what is it called? Modern Florals 101 or Modern Florals. It's by Allie K Design. She is like known for these flowers. I found her through Instagram and found that she sells that book, and you can buy it on Amazon, or if you buy it through her website, I think she signs the book for you, which is really cool. So yeah, definitely check that out. It is on my supplies link in the description box, and I have a bunch of other things in the description box as well. So yeah, I liked to just learn how to draw these flowers through her book, and then I just sketched it into my own book to really practice the flowers. And I'm really tired of like not knowing how to draw flowers off the top of my head, so I'm really trying to like drill them in my head so I remember them. So obviously the more you draw them, the more you're gonna remember how to draw them. Once I sketched the main flowers that have the flower name above them, I just went in and doodled a bunch of just really simple like vines and a few more flowers, and I really love how this came out. It's very messy. I love when I just like fill up an entire page and you're like, where do I even look? It all just like kind of blends together, but yet looks amazing, and I just love those types of spreads. I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but I wanted to explain what a BUJO is. I feel like a lot of people read that online and don't know what it is when they're just getting into bullet journaling. I know I always thought people were saying my bougie. It's really embarrassing. But then I figured out that Bujo, B-U-J-O, is the first two letters of bullet and journal, and it's just a shorter version of saying bullet journal. So if you're someone who's like me and just starting out, a Bujo is a bullet journal, B-U-J-O. I am in like a beginner bullet journal Facebook group, and I saw that was a topic a few weeks ago. Someone was like, what the heck is a Bujo, B-U-J-O? And we were all explaining it and giving each other stories of like what we thought it was and how it confused us when we first started bullet journaling. By the way, if you haven't seen my other latest video, I am pregnant. I'm 16 weeks today, and this is accurate if you're watching this the day I post it, because I'm actually recording the same day that I'm posting it. So I'm 16 weeks pregnant, and we're expecting a girl. I'm so excited. If you're interested in a pregnancy bullet journal, I have a whole separate bullet journal I set up for that, so check out that video. So we are on to my thoughts page. I love this thoughts page so much more than June's. My June's was kind of rushed, and I didn't really like my thoughts page that much, but this is why I get like a bigger bullet journal, because I have so much room to draw and write, because I do like to have actual journal entries in my bullet journal. So I made the butterfly more sketchy. See how I have like extra lines in there? I used a size 02 micron to make those sketchy lines, and I think I used an 8 for the like little dots around the circle. And then I added some stars, the same stars that I used on the 1st July spread. I'm adding in some pictures that I found online. One of them, they were both like magical looking, which I really liked. And then I just added some moon and stars washi tape on the bottom. And then I decided to fill in the butterfly. I just used the same Crayola Super Tips. And I didn't draw directly over the black lines because I knew the black would bleed, because with these Faber-Castell, they're not as pigmented as the Tombow Feuds. I know the Tombow Feuds are like pretty indestructible. Same goes for the Microns. Oh, my husband wanted to show off the breakfast that he made me. He is so sweet. He makes the best breakfast. he's actually pretty much the one that always cooks and I clean. I don't want to cook and clean. He is the cook. And I'm okay with that. And I filled in the middle with gold and the moon with gold, and that's it for that page. Now we're on to the final page. I did a little bit of a different spread this month. I didn't do my normal full moon, waning moon, and new moon spread. I think I'm going to start doing that again next month. So the full moon's in Cancer. I'm going to have a full moon intention at the top. I'm actually using habit trackers this month. I normally don't do habit trackers, but I'm going to do a few of them. I ripped up some paper and used AdTech Crafters tape to glue it down, and I actually used a stamp to make the habit tracker lines, and I actually used a Tombow brush pen to color on the stamp, and then I stamped it on. I didn't have an actual stamp, so that's a little trick if you're wondering. All right, we're on to the final flip through. I love how this came out. I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoyed and got some inspiration from this. Let me know what theme you're doing for July in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I post all bullet journal videos, and I always post 2 plan with me's a month. I have another like cutesy fun stickers washi tape journal that is craft paper. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching.